Yeah, y'all gonna stop coming in my live talking about this Victor dude, bro. We hooping this year. Y'all gonna see.
Alright, team. Today we have a clip from 7 p.m. in Brooklyn with Carmelo Anthony. This is his own podcast. He also has Monica McNutt, who is occasionally on First Take with Stephen A. Smith. This is relating to the Michael Malone firing, which our last video we just talked about that. And so we're going to go ahead and carry that over. And again, leave y'all's thoughts on the coaching situation. It's a very interesting situation. Leave y'all's predictions, all of that, and let's go ahead and jump straight into it.
If you're San Antonio, does it make you change your thinking that you got those three type of coaches out there?
If I'm San Antonio, I'm going to get Mike Malone.
What is the official status of Pop? They let him make decisions?
Now, Pop done.
No, he's not done. He's not done. We don't know anything. He may come back. He might not come back. We're just waiting for the word from Pop himself.
He won't come back, but it's like you get leaks out now saying the team wants to kind of like.
Yeah, because isn't he like a consultant or something?
Yeah.
He got some sort of role. But Malone is off his tree, ain't he?
Yeah, you bring Malone back. Bring Malone out there. There's a couple coaches out there, though.
Championship pedigree.
I don't think Malone has ever coached for the Spurs. Malone could probably be from that tree just because Pop has coached so many coaches that expand and branch off. So I'm sure you could make a connection there, but I don't think Malone has ever coached for the Spurs. I know for sure he coached the Kings with the DeMarcus Cousins team and the Nuggets. That's all I know, but I don't think he ever coached for the Spurs.
Couple coaches out there.
I can't believe it.
I'm a fan of Mike Malone personally. I'm a fan of him. I don't really know what happened, but I'm a fan of Mike Malone. So I would love to see him like get a job ASAP. Like San Antonio should be talking to, that's a great conversation.
He's gonna land somewhere. You win a bunch of chips. You know what I'm saying?
But it ain't that many situations that's out there.
Yeah. San Antonio is a unique situation.
I mean, there are a couple. I mean, you could go to the Kings. They just fired their coach. The Grizzlies also just fired their coach. So, I mean, there are places that are probably going to be going after Michael Malone. The Spurs are probably the best situation when you really think about it. We talked about it last video, but you have another big man in Wemby. Michael Malone, that's kind of his calling card. It would be very interesting to see how Michael Malone would build on Wemby's development. If we're talking just off development for Wemby alone, I think Michael Malone would probably be your best option. But I'm interested to see y'all's thoughts.
You already come from a culture. You know the San Antonio culture. You know what I mean? You done took that and implemented that into Denver.
You get another generational.
Now you just bring
big.
it back. Yeah, you got another generational player. You got young, you got a future a future all-star on your team, and Stephon Castle. Like, he's really, really good.
I like that kid.
Look at the Stephon Castle praise. Every time we're tuning in, hearing these NBA players talk about Stephon Castle, they always have something good to say. Started off with LeBron James, and we're building on Carmelo Anthony. Even Tony Parker had some praise for Stephon Castle. So, man, he's really put the league on notice. He's going to be the Rookie of the Year, back-to-back Rookie of the Years for the Spurs. But going back to something Carmelo Anthony just said, he said he implemented the San Antonio system into Denver. And I forgot who said this. I don't know if it was Mitch Johnson. Whenever they played the Nuggets, but they talked about wanting to have a similar style to Denver, the way the entire offense goes around Jokic, and I could see some resemblance. You have Sohan, who's kind of like the Aaron Gordon to Jokic, and Wemby is the hub of the Spurs offense, so I think it would be interesting. As a matter of fact, Michael Malone might be the best coach for the Spurs. I'm talking myself into this, but when you really start to think about it, there's a lot of signs that point to Michael Malone possibly coming to the Spurs. So if the Spurs were genuinely serious about building that type of system around Wemby, I think Michael Malone would be the best coach for the job.
You get Darren Fox over there with you, like get some drive picks. They might get Cooper.
All right, so let's zoom out. Coach gone in Denver. Playoffs.
So that's it for the clip. We had some interesting stuff. He talked about Stephon Castle. He said he's going to be a star. Monica said she likes Stephon Castle. And basically, Carmelo Anthony's advice was for the Spurs to attack and try to go get Michael Malone if they can. It's going to be an interesting situation. Like last video, I want y'all to let me know who y'all would rather have, Taylor Jenkins or Michael Malone. At this point in time, after hearing and kind of talking myself into the Michael Malone hiring, I'm I'm kind of leaning towards Michael Malone a little bit more. And I know some people aren't gonna like the way Michael Malone is so harsh with his words and stuff. He's a very intense coach and he doesn't take no stuff. But you got to think about it. Our team is built with high character guys who knows it's not about how the coach is saying it, it's about what he's really saying. After all, Stephon Castle was a product of Dan Hurley. He went to UConn and was coached by the hardest coach in college basketball. He's very intense, so I'm not worried about Michael Malone like hurting anyone's feelings, if that makes sense. So going back to the comments of last video, the Spurs coaching situation just got interesting. I think some people made some good points, so we're gonna go ahead and tune into these and see what y'all had to say. Starting off with Jason, they'll be assistant coaches to Pop next season. They need to adopt to the Spurs system first and show who will be the next head coach. Jenkins, Malone, and Brown, imagine if they forced their termination just to apply as Spurs head coach. I mean, I would. There's no guarantee that you get it. I think the Spurs will be very picky with who they bring in to be the successor of Pop. I think it will be a great opportunity for the Spurs and other head coaches to be an assistant for 1 year maybe, and then get a coaching gig somewhere else if they don't even get it for the Spurs. But that kind of just depends on the assistant coaches and if Pop comes back. July says, I'd pick the guy who's won a championship already. Taylor's a good plan B, but Malone's been there and done that already and has an old school coach mentality like Pop did in his prime, where he calls players out and tells it how it is. Either way, both are good options, and the Spurs got to capitalize while the coaching market is hot, and I think that's correct. At this point in time, my prediction is probably going to be that Pop goes to the front office. Just like July said, you got to capitalize while the coaching market is hot. There's no guarantee that these coaches are going to become available again, and the Spurs are very lucky to, at a time like this, have all these coaches and have all these options. So I think July hit it spot on, and the Spurs should capitalize on this. I'm kind of leaning towards more of Malone at this point in time, but who knows how my thoughts could change. Robert here says that the firing of Taylor Jenkins and Michael Malone were very surprising, but he does not think that Malone will be a good fit for the Spurs team. The militia guy says Malone is a coach's coach. He is a high IQ players coach for players who are old school, not today's look-at-me players who are babied if criticized. I think the Spurs culture integrated by CIA Pop and other Spurs assistant coaches over the years. That's why Monty would work. I don't know much about Jenkins, so it seems like he would be open to Malone's coaching, but the militia guy's preference is Monty Williams. And I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your username, but he says, not gonna lie, Malone has a history with making big men look great. He did it with Cousins and Jokic. He'll be great for Wemby. Yes, Michael Malone did coach DeMarcus Cousins on that Sacramento Kings team, and so he has a history, or he knows how to implement a team around a big man hub. As you know, DeMarcus Cousins was the entire engine of that Sacramento Kings team along with Jokic, and so I think I would be really comfortable with having Michael Malone kind of take over and try to build that offense around Wemby, especially like how I pointed to the similarities between the Nuggets and the Spurs. But yeah, with that being said, y'all be sure to leave y'all's comments here on this video. I will probably be going over them again. I'm definitely going to take a look at them. As always, y'all be sure to leave a like and subscribe to Spurs Spotlight. We'll be back here for the bangers if anything else happens. Y'all be sure to tune in the Spurs last game. It's been a long season, and we're going to do some recapping in the next and upcoming videos. But until then, it has been your boy Chris, and I will catch y'all later. I'm out.